Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, DU Scholars. Today we'll be covering the remaining topics of Unit 1 of Business Analytics. I have posted one video where I have covered almost 65 to 70% of the Unit 1 and we are left with only 2 to 3 topics from Unit 1 which we'll be covering in this video. I have discussed all my schedule and everything in the previous video, so you must refer to that in order to get insights of whether what I'm posting when and which topics will be covered and everything related to that. So let's start with today's video about big data and its characteristics. So in this section we'll be discussing about the big data. As we all know that the field of big data analytics is very popular nowadays, and this is very important because we can see data everywhere and anywhere, right? So talking about understanding of the term big data with a simple day-to-day example, imagine you are in a busy shopping mall during the big sale like Black Friday sale or something like that. Thousands of people are shopping, and every time someone buys something, the data is generated. Even I was taking the example yesterday only, that when we move into the store, any store, even we are not buying anything yet, the data is being collected by the installed CCTVs and all. The data is collected in the form of the eye movements or the the path you are covering, the where the crowd is there. Every type of data is being collected through CCTVs and installed softwares right in the mall or the stores, right? So um, thousands of people are shopping, and every time someone buys something, data is generated. Even someone don't buy something, even then the data is generated, like what you bought, what you don't bought, what you saw, what you don't saw, when do you bought, and how much you spend on what things, right? So now think about how many malls, stores, websites are around the world and generating similar kind of information every particular second, right? So this huge amount of data is termed as big data. Okay, so big data is something collected every millisecond and over the world. So this huge amount of data every second is called big data. Businesses use these type of data to understand the preference of customer, predict the trends, or even recommend products to you. Like you might also like, or this can be paired with, like on Myntra or Amazon or H&M and Savannah or Organic websites are there. If you are seeing some product, niche when you scroll, you will see people also bought with these things. So for example, if you are buying a shirt, you are looking for a shirt, then they will recommend you that people also bought with this shirt the pair of pants, the pair of shoes, or maybe these type of earrings, or maybe these type of belts or something like that, right? So for example, when Netflix suggests you shows based on what you have already watched, it's using the big data to make smart recommendations just tailored just for you, right? So Netflix, maybe it happens, even any kind of shopping stores, or even Swiggy, Instamart, or Swiggy may food items, when they are, everything is based on the data you give to these type of websites and applications, right? So in the modern technological world, the data is expanding far too quickly and people frequently rely on it. Additionally, because of the rate at which this data is expanding and becoming increasingly difficult to store this data on any server, and hence to handle these processes to analyze such huge amount of data, the concept of big data come into picture, right? So since this is the amount of data is collected is quite a large number, the handling, the storage, the analysis is where business analysts and data analysts come into play. So this is the concept very useful for the businesses and the huge companies, right? So it becomes difficult for everyone to store it, manage it, and hence traditional methods which were used to store and manage were proven inefficient. Hence we can say that big data refers to extremely large data set that are too complex, vast, or fast moving to be processed, stored, or analyzed using the traditional data processing methods. So it is the accumulation, management, and the analysis of huge amount of structured, semi-structured, or unstructured data to expose patterns, trends, and insights, right? So real world examples would be Instagram, we talked about in our last video, Twitter generates the billions of tweet every year, contextual data and everything. Even Gmail, Outlook can be the example of this. Contain different attachments like this and this. Banks, e-commerce, weather monitoring system, CCTVs. We even talked about most of this in our last video. So you must refer to that because everything is connected, and you the examples would be followed in the these sections also. So you must visit that video in order to understand each and every concept. That video is too long, I know that, around 52 minutes long, but yet that includes every possible kind of circumstance or every type of question that you might be getting in your exam. So you must visit that and you must see that and make notes of it because it's very important, right? So talking about the characteristics of big data, we says we have 5 V's of big data. 5 V's include, number one is the volume, as we are talking about कब से that it is a huge data, as the words even suggest, word even suggests that it is big data. Big data means huge volumes of data is there. Velocity means that is even they are collected in the milliseconds, that they are collected at a very fast pace, and velocity is very high in this kind of big data collection, right? Variety is there. There are different types of data collected. Then veracity refers to the accuracy or the trustworthiness of the data that is being there. And then the value of the data, that the insights or the interpretation that can be made out of this kind of data, right? So talking about the volume, it is the huge data amount generated, which is major in terms of terabytes, petabytes, or even the exabytes, right? For example, the likes and comments and posts shared by billions of users of Facebook every day, or Facebook, you can say even the Instagram right now is at high peak. So that's the volume of data generated over Instagram or any kind of such platform is very huge, right? So velocity, the speed at which the data is being generated, processed, and analyzed is so high. The real time processing is very often necessary, like stock market system processes millions of transactions per milliseconds to give the real time updates of that. So not only talking about stock market, so we know that it's changing even millisecond. That's why the data is very huge. Even anything, any field of industry, the data collected, the velocity of data, the speed at which the data is generated or processed or even analyzed is quite a huge, right? Talking about the variety, it refers to the different type of data collected. It can be like structured data, or or unstructured or semi-structured. It can be any type of data. So talking about the structured data, it's the data that is ready for modeling or analyzing. We talked about this modeling, analyzing of structured data, unstructured data into a structured data in our last video also. You might refer to that. And unstructured data is very much scattered data which cannot be straight away used for analysis purposes, right? Semi-structured data which lies in between of structured and unstructured, for example videos from YouTube, etc., have different structures, right? So talking about veracity, it refers to the accuracy, quality, and the trustworthiness of the data, right? The data can be messy, incomplete, or even misleading, hence we need filtering before processing. So data need to be cleaned before doing the analysis part. Sorry. We even talked about this in our last video. So it's very much connected. You must visit. I am recommending you to visit that video and understand each and every concept there. It is everything related. Value, the insights and benefits that organization are able to derive from the analysis of big data. E-commerce companies use data to recommend products, increase the sales and customer satisfaction. So these are the characteristics that distinguish big data from traditional data and emphasize its challenges and potential. So differences are there. You can read this kind of data. We discussed this even in our last video. Difference between traditional way and the modern way, you can see that. Next is the application part, application of big data. So big data can be found present in almost every field like banking, healthcare, and entertainment. Healthcare ka we took the example. In this section we'll be studying about major application of big data. Talking about the healthcare is crucial because it allows predictive analysis. We discussed about what is predictive analysis, and I gave you the technique to how to learn all this kind of, like I talk about patient and the doctor, right? Patient describes what doctor diagnose, why, then doctor prescribes, gives the prescription of what to do and what should be done, and then he gives the prediction what could be the outcomes, right? So we talked about these all four in our last video, and I taught you everything regarding this, which enables them to identify the potential health risk and personalize the treatment based on the patient's medical history, genetic data, lifestyle habits, and healthcare providers can predict diseases and recommend measures to prevent them, right? We talked about this healthcare sector, everything in our last video. Retail and talking about retail and e-commerce, retailers leverage big data to analyze customer behavior, preferences, enable personalized shopping experience, as we talked about earlier also, that Savannah or Urbanic or Myntra or every kind of shopping platform that we use uses our data only to give us the personalized shopping experiences, right? This data driven approach improves customer satisfaction and boosts sale. For example, Amazon use big data to recommend products from users past purchases, browsing history, and items in the cart, right? So if you search smartphone, and Amazon suggests accessories, cases, and screen protectors, as I gave the example of shirt के साथ you can pair jeans or pants or trousers, or the accessories include belts or earrings for girls, or shoes, or anything. Amazon, Myntra will suggest you on the basis of your past purchases or the history, right? So talking about next sector, finance and banking. So big data analytics enables financial institution to identify fraud by monitoring transactions patterns and discovering anomalies in real time, right? Such system utilize machine learning, right, for differentiating between normal and the suspicious activities. Okay, so if users suddenly make purchase from unfamiliar location, the system flags it and alerts the user, preventing unauthorized access, right? Talking about transportation, transportation uses big data to analyze the traffic pattern. For example, if we take the example of Google Maps, so usme you have already seen कि कई जगह पर there is blue lines, और कहीं जगह पर they give red lines, सब कई जगह पर they give yellow lines, right? है ना? तो इसके they have given codes. Yellow blue line in Google Maps suggest कि the way is okay. Red line में they say कि थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे भीड़ है. रेड और ऑरेंज लाइन समटाइम्स दे यूज़ फॉर दी टाइम ज़्यादा लगेगा वहाँ पे, भीड़ ज़्यादा है, ट्रैफिक ज़्यादा है. वो कैसे पता लगता है उनको? रियल टाइम बेसिस पे कैसे पता लग रहा है? जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द डेटा इज़ गिवन फ्रॉम दी रियल टाइम बेसिस to the Google Maps to ensure that everything is in line and getting updated on the platform, right? So and yellow line में they give कि अच्छा यहाँ पे construction हो रहा है, यहाँ पे ये हो रहा है, सब कुछ they give everything on maps, right? So this is the transportation industry में they use data in this way. So here's the given. Google Maps collects data from GPS devices, sensors, and user input to provide real-time traffic updates. Accident on highway suggest route to avoid delays. I gave you the example, right? So talking about media and entertainment, streaming platform, as we talked about Netflix or Amazon Prime, Hotstar, every platform uses this kind of data, talking about what have you already watched based on your previous watch history. They suggest you the upcoming or maybe the series or movies you should watch of the same genre or something like that, right? Streaming platforms use big data to analyze viewing habits and the preferences, ensuring users receive personalized content recommendation. This enhances user recommendation and retention, right? So Netflix studies what you shows you watch, pause, or skip, and uses the data to recommend similar content, right? So if you binge watch crime series, Netflix might suggest other crime or other thriller genres too that align with your interest, right? So talking about education may they use big data to track students performance, identify the gaps, and customize study materials. This approach makes learning more effective and engaging, right? So platform like Khan Academy analyze user progress to recommend practice and exercise videos. For instance, if a student struggles with algebra, perform the platform suggests targeted lessons to strengthen their understanding. Even in YouTube you can see that this is happening. Like if you are watching, for example, you are watching my videos, So they will give you a tab underneath saying from DU scholars, right? So everything that is recommended is based on your, you have already watched, your history is there. So they recommend you, the YouTube algorithm is styled in this that way that you are given the personalized recommendation, and you get to know about everything that is there, right? So talking about the manufacturing industry, big data allows manufacturer to keep the track of performance of the equipment and predict the potential failure, which decreases the downtime and maintenance cost. Sensors embedded in machine collect data, and data is then analyzed to point out the patterns that signal to a problem, right? So General Electric motor is in the engines and turbines through big data. It senses overheating or abnormal vibrations. It should schedule to maintenance before it broke down, right? So it's talking about the manufacturing industry. And talking about the government uses big data to improve the urban planning, optimize the resources, creating smarter and more sustainable cities. For example, Singapore's Smart Nation initiative uses data from IoT devices to manage the traffic, monitor air quality, and improve the transport system, right? Talking about energy and utilities, this analyze the data consumption pattern, forecast the demand, and improves the energy efficiency. This helps in reducing the cost and promoting the sustainability. Smart meters in home collect data on electricity usage and send it to utility companies. Okay, so these are some of the few examples of few scenarios that illustrate how is the capability of big data revolutionizing the industries for offering more innovative solution to the complex challenges, right? So understanding and harnessing the power of big data is the need of the hour, right? So talking about the challenges in data analytics, also I covered the topic of data analysis and data analytics in our recent video, analytics and data analysis, right? So this is very important, the difference is very important, you must check it out, right? So talking about the challenges in the data analytics, although seems very overwhelming and powerful, but data analytics comes with challenges, and organization need to overcome when meaning from this power is expected, right? So major issues that are being faced is getting the poor quality of data, like old data or data that might not be completely inconsistent, such data is likely to produce incorrect analysis and eventually going to wrong decision. For example, as we all say that when we are learning computer, if we are giving any command to computer, it is processing it and giving us the output. So we use the phrase like garbage in and garbage out, right? So if we are giving input as the waste material, then the output will be also the waste material only, so there will be no usage of that, right? So for example, if a company is using incorrect customer details, it might send irrelevant marketing messages and reduce the customer trust, right? So integrating data from diverse sources like databases or IoT devices or social media can be complex due to the varying platforms and structures. This incompatibility between system can result into delays and incomplete analysis, right? So the shared size of big data makes the storage, processing, and the analysis very intensive. Handling such kind of data requires significant computational power, which is a strain in infrastructure, right? So now we have softwares like R and all, where we can process and analyze our data. Storage is such a issue that if we store such kind of issue in such kind of huge datas in our softwares, they are uh, they are going to lag. Of course they are going to lag. Even in our as I suggested that we are when we were talking about our packages and libraries in our introduction video only, when I was explaining you what they are, then I said you that we install one package, we use it, we then uninstall that. Why? Because that we can't store such kind of huge amount of data, along with that a huge amount of heavy amount of packages along with that on a single software. That leads to lagging and slowing of that software, right? So the storage is something very important, yet it is not done in that effective way, because of the huge amount of data, right? So the processing data in real time for immediate insights is difficult, especially when high velocity data streams, but delayed insights can lead to missed opportunity in time sensitive scenarios like fraud protection or even processing in real time is a great issue. Protecting sensitive data from breaches and ensuring compliance with data protections is critical, and any data leaks can damage reputation and results in legal penalties, right? So there is shortage of qualified data scientists and analysts who can work with advanced tools and techniques. Organization may struggle to derive insights from such a complex data set, showing decision making processes. Techniques like machine learning and predictive analytics require advanced knowledge and computational resources. Smaller organizations might find it challenging and adopt these methods effectively, right? So the above challenges indicate that we should not forget to surpass the hurdles to reveal all kind of vast potential data analytics has for our organization and enjoy all its benefit. Investment in technology, skilled professionals, and ethical practices will allow organization to change obstacles into opportunities for growth, right? So here comes the end of our chapter, and here are some of the questions that you might answer in the comment section if you wish to. मैंने आपको लास्ट वीडियो में भी कुछ क्वेश्चंस यहाँ पर थे, तो आई सेड यू टू आंसर. इफ़ यू डिड इट दैट्स ग्रेट, इफ़ यू डिडंट देन यू मस्ट डू दैट, बिकॉज क्वेश्चंस यहीं से आपके कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्ड होंगे एंड वहीं से आप क्वेश्चंस के आंसर लिख पाओगे इन द एग्ज़ाम, राइट? सो हेयर्स द एंड ऑफ द चैप्टर, एंड ऑफ द यूनिट 1 and end of this video as well. And that's it for unit 1. I hope you liked this, and if you did, press the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share it with your friends ताकि सबका भला हो. Thank you so much, and we'll be meeting with the Excel videos in a short time. Thank you so much.